Hello there. This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we're going to be talking about the next potential Star Wars movie, as it could have an official announcement rather soon. So with that there being said, of course, we're going to go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we're going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, Star Wars' next movie gets a possible title announcement update, as well as just an overall update for the upcoming plans that Lucasfilm does have for their next theatrical release. Of course, that's regarding Star Wars, not Indiana Jones or anything like that. I also want to say that the last time that we talked about the upcoming supposed next Star Wars movie here on the channel, it of course had been into the regards of Damon Lindelof and his writing for his Star Wars movie that was coming out in 2025. And recently it had been revealed that he stepped away from that project due to creative differences. However, it's also been presumed and said and recently reported that they've already hired a new writer to replace him for that Star Wars movie. And also, last I've heard recently about that 2025 Star Wars movie that was supposed to be written by Damon Lindelof, since that now has a new writer, is actually going to be directed by the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus series director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. As the Direct's article reads, a new report points to when fans of that galaxy far, far away should expect the title announcement for Lucasfilm's next Star Wars movie. Currently, Lucasfilm has two untitled Star Wars films set to release on December 19th, 2025 and December 17th, 2027, with director Taika Waititi and his Star Wars movie, and then the, as I had mentioned, Ms. Marvel's writer Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's respective films as the top candidates. And despite recent writer shakeups and ongoing uncertainty, especially for our Star Wars movies, it seems that Lucasfilm is staying on target to release its 2025 film and reveal its anticipated title. As recently reported by Variety, the title of this first Star Wars movie since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, as well as additional details, is expected to be officially announced by Lucasfilm and Disney themselves at Star Wars Celebration in April. I mean, of course, this makes perfect sense. It's Star Wars Celebration, and it would be 2 years away from when we would have that next Star Wars movie. And I further do believe and have to agree with what the Direct's article is saying here. I don't think that we're just going to have a release date or like just Star Wars Untitled Project type of title. We're going to actually, I think, instead rather have an official like confirmation on what this movie is going to be titled, who's going to be directing it, writing on it, and even acting in the movie. And also, of course, more importantly, official plot details into the regards of this, Star Wars movie, who it could be about in a galaxy far, far away. Where and when and how this movie would take place in the Star Wars universe is also something I'm very interested. I think we're all very interested to hear about if this is going to be taking place inside the Skywalker saga, with Skywalker saga like legacy characters after the events of the sequel trilogy with The Rise of Skywalker, or if this could be something that's similar to what the Acolytes Disney Plus show is going to be doing, as that show is going to be set 100 years before the Phantom Menace and the Skywalker saga. Could we potentially see like a High Republic or Old Republic, rather, Star Wars movie set a couple hundred years before those events of the Phantom Menace and of where we get started in the Skywalker saga? That there is a very big question that I just can't wait to hear about, and just furthermore, like an official, announcement and details and confirmation on the next Star Wars movie is something that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing here. I also feel like that we're having a better leeway, better hope, I think, for Lucasfilm just overall as a company, especially with the recent Indiana Jones film being released this summer, is definitely a step in the right direction. It may not be Star Wars, but it is Lucasfilm, and they do collectively work on Star Wars, of course. As the Direct's article continues by saying that since the screenwriters Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson have left their 2025 Star Wars project, reports now claim that Peaky Blinders' Stephen Knight will pen the film, which is still being directed by the Ms. Marvel's Disney Plus show Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. My reactive response to that is, for one, I've never seen Peaky Blinders. I think that's a Netflix show. However, of course, I will say that I've only heard great things about that show, so seeing that we could have Stephen Knight now being the new writer for the next Star Wars movie is something that I can't wait to see. And also, with that being said, I think I'll have to give Peaky Blinders a go on Netflix. As the article continues by saying that the 2025 film will likely be announced at Star Wars Celebration's Lucasfilm Studios showcase panel on Friday, April 7th. Now from there, there's a few different directions that we can go. guessing the new Star Wars movie title, what it could be about, that type of thing. Earlier this month, a report had claimed that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's film was Lucasfilm's next Star Wars movie, and the one to be set for release in 2025. Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie would be set for 2027 if this is the case. That same source also reported that the film already has talent attached, and also having a script that's quote-unquote, by all accounts, done. Ending that quote right there. Now, me, quite personally, I don't fully believe the script to be, fully done, and of course, a script isn't ever really fully complete up until the day of filming. There's always tweaks and different changes going on here and there when it comes to that type of thing, but seeing that they just fired, or not rather fired, but had the previous screenwriters, Damon Lindelof, exit that Star Wars movie, and that they're starting kind of from scratch with Stephen Knight, the Peaky Blinders screenwriter and director, I don't think that the script would be done. I think that they do have a general basis and understanding of what they want this movie to be about, as into the sense of, what kind of characters we're dealing with, and also when and how this Star Wars movie would be taking place in the Star Wars universe. As I had discussed, if that would be something that's taking place after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, or before the events of The Phantom Menace, or maybe out doing its own thing, completely disconnected, and maybe even in a different galaxy, is something I think we could see explored in the Star Wars universe to some extent, which I know sounds weird. As I mean, maybe something that is kind of exploring some of those unknown regions in the Star Wars universe, in the Star Wars galaxy. And so the Direct's article also says that this is something that is somewhat puzzling, of course, given that writer Stephen Knight is being brought on board, just now. But while Damon Lindelof has yet to fully explain his departure, publicly and everything, the screenwriter did comment saying that if the film can't be great, it shouldn't exist. And that is something I completely agree with, and I think that's also something that Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, also agrees with, as when he had recently spoken about what they're doing for the next Star Wars movie and gave us a little bit of an insight and update for what they have in store for the next Star Wars project, the next Star Wars theatrical release, saying that that's something that they want to give their all, and something to really be proud of, is what he had said about that Star Wars movie that they're working on for 2025. And I think that Damon Lindelof has that same feel for what they have in store for this 2025 Star Wars movie as well. Damon Lindelof is a huge Star Wars fan as well, that we know of, and I think that he really is just nothing else but then right, saying that if the film can't be great, it simply just shouldn't really exist. Now the question is that whether or not Lucasfilm had brought Stephen Knight on board to change the script or keep it as is. I definitely think that we'll see a couple changes here and there. I think that if they didn't want to have any changes, they would have just kept Damon Lindelof's original idea. So I think that we could expect to see some changes here and there from what we saw with Damon Lindelof's original script for the next Star Wars movie. Regardless of Damon Lindelof's no vote of confidence, it doesn't bode well for the project's current state or fan anticipation upon its announcement, though. However, he doesn't seem 100% on it, and of course that there's still a few things that he would love to change here and there, but as we know, he's left this project. However, if Lucasfilm is committed to the release slot of 2025 and the basis of the script overall is there along with its talent, it also makes sense for Lucasfilm to reveal its title at Celebration in London next month. As of to what the title will be, and if there will be a change between now and Star Wars Celebration, is anybody's guess, especially for when it comes to Star Wars movies. That is something that ever since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker has been something that's just so up in the air, constantly, consistently, always changing. I feel like there's been like 5+ Star Wars movies that have been in the works that we've known about here and there. Whether or not they've been officially announced or not is kind of like a hit or miss, but the point is that the Star Wars movies have been in some trouble for quite some time. The one hint fans have to go on, it's reports that the film is set after the events of The Rise of Skywalker and could include returning legacy characters. And something, of course, should be officially announced in Star Wars Celebration next month on April 7th. Now from there, that is where the article concludes, and as I had to mention at the beginning of this video, I have this article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. Of course, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What do you guys want to see with the next Star Wars movie? What kind of characters do you want to see in the next Star Wars movie? When do you want to see the next Star Wars movie takes place in the Star Wars universe? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And so, of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars, and thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.